Would you like to get a Master Ball in Pokemon Pocket without having to be any good at Pokemon Pocket? Let's find out how. According to this crazy graph that you do not need to know how to read, I'm gonna tell you what it means. It's actually possible to get a Master Ball with a negative win rate. That's a win rate below 50%. What the heck is going on here? Runaways claims that even if your win rate is as low as 44.5%, which is pretty darn low, you can still technically gain points in Master Ball on average if you play a lot of games thanks to the streak bonuses. The idea is you win a game, you lose a game. Okay, you haven't changed, your ELO hasn't changed. But then you win 2, you lose 2, you've just gotten some streak bonus points. Over time, those points will add up so much that even if your win rate is below 50%, they'll keep adding up and your score will keep climbing. So the question is, can a 50% win rate, you winning as much as you lose, get you to the top of Master Ball? The answer is kind of yes. Right now, the top player in Master Ball has 4,612 points, which sounds completely insane. How did they get so many points? I wish I had that many points. Oh my goodness, no one could ever get that many points. But actually, getting that many points is easy. According to the graph, this insane-looking formula can calculate the average points you'll get per game if you're playing a lot of games, depending on your win rate, which is WR in the formula. You don't have to do the math, though. Random Waves claims in the post that if you solve this equation for a 50% win rate, you'll get an average of 1.4 points per game played. Now, that's obviously awful. In Master Ball, you get 10 points for winning a game, and this is saying you'll get 1 2/5 of a point for every game you play, on average. It almost seems like you'd be better off just playing a game, winning, and then stopping, right? But here's the thing. 1.4 points might not sound like a lot, but what if you play 10 games? What if you play 100? Runaways mentions that if you play 500 games, that's 540 points, without even having to win more than you lose. You can win and lose the same amount and climb 540 points in ranked. You just have to play 500 games. That's enough to get you from the start of Master Ball at 1450 all the way to 1990, which will almost guarantee you a slot in the top 10,000 at the end of the season. In fact, if we take a look at the top 100 in Pokemon Pocket, they're only at 2,966 points. In theory, if you play 1,500 games, you could get really close to this with that 50% win rate we talked about. If you play 2,000 games, how high would you go? Wait, really? Still? I can't keep making that noise, but basically you could get all the way up to the top 25. All you have to do is play 2,000 games of Pokemon Pocket. Psh, that's nothing. Now, keep in mind, this season has only been running for about a week. You could technically have played 2,000 games in that time, plus the additional however many it takes, I guess, additional 200 games to get from Ultra Ball 3 to Master Ball if you started Master Ball in the previous season, but you would have no life. You'd have to be, I don't know, one of those streamers who is a full-time streamer and just cranking out ranked every single day. And if you did that, if you're even literally halfway good at the game, you could get to the top of Master Ball. But for most people who don't have time for that, it's a bit more of a struggle. And it raises the question, is Master Ball about skill anymore? Or is it just about how many games you can play in a given day? Although in theory you will need skill to do this, you'll have to be able to maintain a 50% win rate against some of the best players in the world in Master Ball. But what if you're playing one of those brain-dead decks that just kind of doesn't take a lot of skill to run? There are a whole lot of decks that just kind of maybe you could win or lose on turn 2, depending on what you draw. I don't know, maybe a deck with this card and a bunch of Sylveons attached that have been doing really well in tournaments lately. Don't get me wrong, all of these decks have tricks and high-level plays attached to them. And without doing those plays, you're gonna struggle against really good players, like you'll find near the top of Master Ball. But in theory, All you need to do is play a deck that auto wins 50% of the time, even a little bit less, and you could be one of the top players in the world. But that's just a mathematically proven theory. This has been the Sneaky Dragon, and Psyduck says hi. Let me know how far you've climbed in Masterball, and if you're planning on spamming some games. What deck works really well for you, actually, to just win or lose instantly? That would be really good for a high-volume strategy. Let me know in the comments, and we'll catch you later.